Hey Postables, you're listening to Deliver Me a Podcast, brought to you by Kaycee, Jess, and Kami. A special thanks to James Jandrisch for letting us use the music on our show. Now, grab some yoo-hoo or a kombucha, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey Postables, Jess here. Just wanted to pop in and let you know that I was not in my usual space for the recording of this episode, and I had a really poor connection, so I had to edit quite a bit of myself out. But don't worry, I'm still here. I just wanted to apologize for that and any extra sound feedback that resulted from the poor connection. As always, thank you for being such dedicated fans of our show.
Welcome back, Postables. We have a very exciting episode today. It is the much anticipated episode as we have two very special guests. We have Danielle and Natalie from POstables Unscripted. Thank you guys for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you. We're thrilled to be here.
Yes, we're very excited. And we have a very special segment at the very end where we're going to do our trivia. And some of you Postables out there have submitted some trivia. I was not able to use all of them, but I did use some. So listen out for your question if you sent it.
I hope you showed a little mercy.
We'll see. We're playing Jeopardy. So if you are on audio, I highly recommend you go back or you pause that and go to the YouTube because we are all on camera. So you can see our shenanigans that way. All right. So we have the dynamic writing duo, and we wanted to just get to know you guys a little bit. We know of you all from Twitter and from your fan fiction. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about yourselves, and we'll go from there.
I'll go first. So I have 3 daughters and 2 stepdaughters that are my worlds. I first joined Twitter a few years back, but didn't really discover the Postables until about 2 years ago. I didn't get a chance to watch the episodes or in movies in order. I watched them completely out of order and just could not get enough of it. I'm a fraud investigator, so I'm pretty busy between working full time and my kids, but it's nice to be able to get away and go on Twitter and spend time with the Postables. And fortunately haven't had as much time to do that lately with my schedule, but it is something I very much enjoy to do.
That's awesome. And a fraud investigator, that's really cool stuff.
You're a bit of a detective yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. It's definitely different experience every day, and I've also kind of been promoted, and I've been helping, completing some trainings and trying to train my team on different things, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh wow. Yeah. So Natalie, what about you?
I am an online elementary teacher, so I live in the virtual world every day and teach the little ones. Yes, I'm going into my 5th year as a virtual teacher. I taught 1 year in a private school before that. So I have 4 children. I have 3 boys and a girl, and I've been married for 16 years. I have, for as long as I can remember, I've had a passion for video editing. Back in the 90s when I was growing up, before all of this new technology that we have, my dad would buy me computers. He would build me computers because he knew how to do that kind of thing. And he would get me that video editing software and equipment. And I would just have so much fun inputting clips from our VHS tapes and putting them all together and, taking out the bad parts and putting together the good from home movies or whatever, making photo montages for people for graduations and weddings and things like that. And I just became fascinated with being able to create beautiful visuals that people could enjoy. And so I decided that I wanted to go into television and film. And I got my undergraduate degree in telecommunication and film with an emphasis on audio video production. I had hoped to end up in the industry, and that just has not happened yet, but it's still a dream of mine. And I have done some wedding videography. I did that for a while and really enjoyed that. It was a lot of pressure, but it was fun. And it was not until recently that I developed a stronger passion for writing. And now that I think about it, I can see how video editing and writing stories, those two things are so similar because they are both styles of storytelling, and they both involve working with a number of details to put a bigger picture together, whether it's on the screen or in someone else's mind. And so I guess I just love to tell a good story. I love to bring those things together and create something appealing and entertaining. And that is one of my biggest passions.
So how did the two of you meet, and how did POstables Unscripted get formed? And I remember when it came about, and I was like a baby Postable. So I was like coming off the high of like all the movies, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even know if we're going to have another movie. And so I got to find some fan fiction.
Right.
Yeah. Tell us how y'all got together.
So it was about 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
Right around this time that
Yes.
I had written a story called Bundle of Memories, and I finished it up, and then afterwards I was starting a new story and had that Shalliver wedding in mind because people kept asking me, will you write that? Will you write that? And I was like, I don't know. And at the time I was actually reading some other fan fiction stories, and I stumbled across Danielle's and loved it, read it, loved it, and thought, her style just seems so much like mine. Like I just felt like we could mesh. And so I reached out to her, and I think I sent you a message on Twitter, and I can't even remember. It's been so long, and so much has happened since then. But I just said, hey, do you want to write together? I'm thinking about writing the wedding, and it kind of scares me a little, and I would love to have somebody else work alongside me. And so she said yes, and surprisingly, very quickly, I was like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. And so I was just tickled to death, and that's what happened. We started writing together, and then after a while, we decided that we needed to have a name for ourselves and have our own site where we could house all of our things because, we were collecting all of this, that we were putting together stories and pictures and music and all sorts of stuff. And so Danielle is the one that came up with the name POstables Unscripted, and I fell in love with that name.
Danielle.
And everybody, we put some feelers out there, and everybody loved that name, so we went for it. And in my mind, I just thought it was just wonderful. I mean, we are POstables Unscripted, but at the same time, we represent anybody who's a postable and is unscripted. So what we try to do is help promote other writers for Signed, Sealed, Delivered, the ones that are writing those stories.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And it's fun to see how, Postables just like connect over the internet, which back in the 90s was like a no, but now we're like, oh, it's cool. We're like best friends.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's funny too because, we realize the more we would talk, how much we have in common. I mean, we're the same age, our oldest kids are, I think my daughter's almost 15. She'll be 15 next month. And I think your son is around the same age. Yeah. So it's like we had all these things in common, and just, we're both introverts. So it's kind of hard doing it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for us to put ourselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, we just kept wanting to expand more. We get an idea, and, we're in different time zones. So, she'd send me a message, and I'd wake up, and I get up really early for work, and I'd see her message and right away respond. And, hey, what about this? And what about this? And we'd be going back and forth while we're getting ready for work, and just, became just a lot of fun and great to try to add as much as we can for other postables.
Yeah, for sure.
And Natalie, you have to tell us the special thing that you told the three of us before we started recording, because I know that the Postables are gonna love hearing this.
Oh, yes, of course. So
This is a red letter day.
This is a red letter day. I've been excited for this day for 2 years. Danielle and I we've never spoken. We've texted. We started out messaging on Twitter, and then we, evolved into texting and emailing when we needed to. but we've never spoken. We've never heard each other's voices or seen each other on video. So this is super cool. We're really excited for this opportunity.
It's awesome. We, wanted to be able to meet, but we're both working moms, and it's just not in the cards when you're a working mom and
busy lives. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to mention several states away.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so really quick, because you've both written stories. And for some reason, I didn't realize, Danielle, you had written a story by yourself. Can y'all share which stories you have written separately and then together before we jump into our questions about writing?
Yeah. So I wrote Timing is Everything. I just put, I was very new to the Postables, but I had been binge reading as much fan fiction, like you mentioned earlier, as I could get my hands on. And I used to write years ago, when I was a teenager, I wrote fan fiction. I mean, it probably wasn't very good, because I was 16, 15. But I really love writing, and I wanted just an outlet. And so I started writing stories and reading stories. And then I did another one, The Many Musings of Shane McInerney. It's just 2 one shots, so not a whole lot there. And then we wrote, From a Shoe to I Do together. So it's been a journey. She's definitely written a lot more stories than I have.
Not that many more, actually, but Patience is a Virtue is the one that I was working on, which was kind of the pre-wedding story, and that's when I contacted Danielle. So Danielle, you have to give yourself credit for that one too, because she stepped in the middle of that one and we finished that one up together. So I call that one of ours together. So that's not a solo piece, that's ours.
Okay.
So Patience is a Virtue, followed by From a Shoe to I Do. And so the ones that I've written, I did one back in 2016, just a few chapters. It was called A Secret Life, and I didn't do a whole lot with it. It was just kind of, I don't know, just testing the waters, I guess. And then I thought, I can't do this. It's too hard to put myself out there. All those doubts kept creeping in, but I was interested in writing, but I put it off. And then in the summer of 2018 is when I wrote Bundle of Memories. And that one was written very quickly, but it was just inspired. I was writing a chapter a night, but they were short chapters, and I was just putting them out there. So people seemed receptive and loved it. And so I thought, hey, maybe I can work on this and get better at it. And so that's when I decided, when they were asking me to do the wedding story, I started the Patience is a Virtue. But I still had that little bit of, nervousness because I wanted to do it right. And I didn't want it to be all on me. And so that's when I reached out to Danielle. And we did those 2, Patience is a Virtue and From a Shoe to I Do. And then I don't even know, what did I write next? That was probably the little Valentine story with a little heart. That's a little one-shot story. Work Engagement. That was another little one shot that I did. And now I am writing, I forgot all about Excessive Handling. I started that one as a sequel to Bundle of Memories, and it became rather complex. And when I thought of the idea of Simply Captivating, that one got shoved aside, and I started working on Simply Captivating, and that's where I am now. You go wherever the inspiration takes you, right?
Of course, yeah.
That's where I am now.
So have the 2 of you written other stories besides signed, sealed, delivered fan fiction, or are you just sticking to fan fiction for right now?
That's it for me. I mean, I've started, just trying a little bit outside, but have not really gotten very far. I want to, but.
Yeah, that's my thoughts too. And it's just, I have to be in the right mindset and have the time. And it's, it's hard right now just finding that time. And my kids are at, 2 of them are teenagers and the other one is 10. And so it's difficult to just find that balance and that time, because especially right now, in today's world, we're home all the time. I work from home, which is nice, but it is difficult because my time is completely focused on them when I can.
It's busier.
Yes.
It's not boring. It is not boring. No, I got you.
Yeah. And they're bored all the time, you know, so I have to entertain them.
I know. Yes, yes, I know. So why SSD stories? What inspired you to start writing them?
So I know for me, I fell in love with the characters so quickly. You know, it was the first movie I saw was actually For Christmas. And I just was captivated by it. And the next one I saw was The Impossible Dream, which I cry every time. I mean, I bawl. And
welcome to the club.
I mean, there's so many. I think I cry in almost all of them, but I mean, that one, especially as a mom, that one just really, I just can't help it. I just, even my youngest, you know, when she first watched it with me, that's her favorite, and she calls it the soldier one. Even though there's really more.
How old is she?
I mean, she's 10 now, but she was 8 at the time, and you know, she just loved it so much because, you know, again, for her as a little girl, and she's my baby, and so she was able to relate a mom and a little girl reuniting, and it just, I don't know, it was just such a nice thing to be able to watch with her. But I don't know, it's just something about it that just drew me in, and I felt like I understood the characters enough to write a story where I felt like I could do them justice, because the last thing I would want to ever do is write a story where I can't capture the characters correctly. And I felt like I could do that with SSD.
Okay.
I would have to echo what she said. Just fell in love with the characters and the story, the whole storyline. And of course, I'm a dreamer. I've always, you know, just imagination just runs wild. So I just thought this would be just a great way to just use that imagination and just kind of think of the way things might be in the future, come up with different storylines, and yeah.
So what is it like writing a story together? Because it can be really hard sometimes to keep voices consistent. You guys do such a really good job of kind of seamlessly transitioning between your two voices.
So that, I mean, honestly, that was, I thought it would be challenging, but I absolutely loved it. And I feel like it's because Natalie and I are very much on the same page with so many things. And so when we were outlining from a Shoot Do I Do, we literally made out an outline of what chapter was going to be what, and then we would assign out who was going to be writing what chapter and what was going to be in it. And I don't even know how many times we would email back and forth, like, here's my proof. What do you think I could do here? Can you think of a better word for this? And it was constant, but we always stayed in communication. I mean, there was times I get up at 2:00 in the morning and say, oh, I gotta go and let me look at my thesaurus and see if I can find a better word for, you know, whatever. And send it back to Natalie because she's writing right now, or whatever it was. But I don't ever feel like we ever had an issue with, you know, we never argued about, well, what do you mean? I don't like it this way. Let's do it this way. We just we connected with every aspect. At least that's how I feel.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. And this goes back to our writing styles being so similar as well. I think that I had a pretty good intuition when I reached out to you, honestly, I just feel like it was a God thing. I think that he put it on my heart to reach out to her and for us to connect and do this together. And it just, it just blended perfectly. And like she said, we would either do chapters or parts, you be Oliver, I'll be Shane, or whatever. And then it just, came together so nicely. So.
Yeah, and I know, like, the one that sticks out is from a Shoot Do I Do, because I remember reading that, like I'm, like, on my phone, on Twitter, like, refreshing, like, are they posting tonight? And I remember reading it, and it felt very seamless. Like, I could not tell, like, who wrote what part.
Well,
So
honestly, if I
Fingers
look
got
at
very
it now,
twitchy. She got very twitchy fingers.
honestly, if I look at it now, I have to think, did I write that part or
Right.
did Danielle? Like I don't remember, So,
There's certain things, I remember, like she tackled the reception and I tackled the wedding portion,
Right.
And then we had little bits and pieces here because we really needed to, both of those to us were big things, big areas that you don't want to, if we wanted to do it justice. And so that I do remember that, but like she said, going through and if I reread it right now, there would be so many parts where I would have no idea if I wrote that or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a gift. I mean, just like the friendship that you've obviously, gotten from writing the stories and then being able to just mesh so seamlessly in writing that. I mean, that's not something you hear all the time. I mean, because people have different voices, they have different styles and different ideas, and it can be very hard to write something with, another person, especially, a complete stranger. So yeah, that's amazing. That's absolutely mind-blowing for me, honestly. So I believe it was in that story, that's the wedding story, correct? That you polled all the postables on Twitter about like I remember, I think it was like the
wedding colors.
Yes, different things like that.
Yeah.
That was the big one I remember.
Yes, this was written for them. I mean, they were asking for it, and I just felt like if we're going to do this, let's make sure it's, what they have in mind. And so it was so important to us to find out, and ask those questions. So we did do a lot of polling.
We did. And honestly, like I would say that was almost more time consuming than the writing portion, is just that initial planning. We would sit there and look at wedding dresses, like which dress do you think is good for Shane and which tux is good for Oliver, and then the bridesmaids' dresses, and we'd be sending pictures back and forth to each other. It's like, oh, well, this is definitely a Rita dress. And, this would be great for Shane's mom, and this is good for the flower girl. And we go back and forth, and we really wanted the Postables to feel that they were helping to plan the wedding. I know it was Natalie's idea to, do the polls to begin with. And I loved that idea of just bringing everybody in and getting everybody excited about it.
Yeah. That was definitely like, it was a lot of fun because we were so like on that high from To the Altar, and, all of a sudden you guys are writing this story. So, and we didn't know at the time either that they were going to do another movie, right? I think it was like in that hiatus time that we had been waiting. Right. And so it was really great to just like have something, even if it's unofficial, it was still a lot of fun.
We loved it.
Yes. So much fun.
All right, so this question is for Natalie. We thought we read somewhere that your story, A Bundle of Memories, was given to Martha at the SSD meetup in LA. Is that correct?
It was. Just to kind of recap what happened there, my daughter was not even a year old yet. And when I heard about the Postables going to Home and Family to see Kristen and Crystal, I was pretty bummed. I was like, oh man, well, maybe next time. Well, some Postables reached out and said, well, let's take your story and pass it along through Kristen and Crystal, one or the other, and send it to Martha. And I was like, you would do that? That's so sweet. They were so sweet. And so they took it with them, and lo and behold, Martha showed up. And of course, I'm over here thinking, oh, wow. I mean, that was so cool that they were able to hand it to her directly, and they sent me a picture of her looking at it and everything. So that just meant a lot, just to get a story of mine in her hands. So that was a super cool.
Yeah,
meant the world to me.
I think I would have died.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting over here. I think I was more excited. Well, I shouldn't say that. I felt like I was as excited as the ones that were in LA, I was like, well, this totally makes up for it.
Yeah.
So where did you get the idea for Simply Captivating? Where did that idea come from?
Okay. I just remember all of a sudden we had just gone into quarantine, pandemic mode, and I don't know, all of a sudden I just thought, what on earth would the Postables be doing if this were happening and signed, sealed, delivered? And of course, my first thought was that had me rolling was Oliver and the virtual setting, because everybody's going home and working from home. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, that would be so hilarious. But then also, and I'm going to share a little secret here.
Ooh,
So, yeah, a little secret.
exclusive.
So here's the deal. My husband and I eloped, and we didn't tell anybody. So this is kind of based on personal experience. We were secretly married for 7 months.
What?
No!
What?
Without anybody knowing?
My mom found out, but she was the only one.
Did she find out the way Miss McInerney found out about her daughter?
She didn't try to stay in a hotel with you.
Oh my God.
Kind of, sort of, but anyway.
Oh, my
Anyway, so this is based on personal experience.
Oh my.
And I thought, wow, it would be, and I'm not saying that we followed the path that Shane and Oliver are following in the story at all, but I thought, that would be such a cool thing to, to write about.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Wow.
and I've learned from experience that, in writing, when you write about things that you know about, those personal
so much easier.
It is so much easier.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Definitely. So what can we expect in the future regarding Simply Captivating?
Kaycee really wants to know.
Yeah, I really do. I really do. I want to get to Saturday. So without spoiling anything, we want to get to Saturday.
So things are not exactly as they seem. That is one thing I will tell you. And we're getting to Saturday slowly but surely. Of course, I have gone back to work full time now, so I'm a little bit slower with my writing. But I'll get there. And somebody might show up.
Ooh.
And what
Steve?
else was I going to tell you? Well,
Oh gosh.
you've already seen him, right?
We have seen him. We've seen him multiple times.
Knock, Shane. I know you're in there. Oh
yeah,
man.
and there's a detail that I feel like a lot of people have forgotten about, that I might be revisiting. So, and there's also one more thing I was going to tell you. I threw a little Easter egg in there that nobody has figured out yet. So I'm just waiting.
Huh.
Nobody said anything, and it just cracks me up.
Oh.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
That's-
gonna have to go back.
Yeah, that's taking a look.
Oh,
I know. I'm gonna have to
Something to
go
look at.
back.
I love Easter egg, so I'm gonna find it.
okay.
Oh, that woman is on a mission now.
I challenged her now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and read it. I mean, I thought I read it pretty, thoroughly. The second and third time around.
Apparently not.
Huh.
Future. You guys have any plans to collaborate on another story?
We've talked about it, and it is definitely something we want to do. It's, just time-wise, it's been difficult, but it is definitely, I'm not giving up on writing. I want to get back into it when we have a chance, and I think Natalie's the best person to write with.
Thank you. I would love that. I would love it. That was such a fun time. I'd like to go back to that. It was busy. And looking back on it, I was working full time and had a baby, and I don't know how how we did it.
I don't either. I look back on it like, where did I find the time to do that? And I don't know. We just did. So
Yeah.
we definitely want to go back to it. Just kind of find the right inspiration of what to write about.
Yeah.
Kaycee over here, she is hungry. She is hungry for more signed, sealed, delivered fan fiction. She was telling me, Kami, you need to write a signed, sealed, delivered fan fiction. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll just, put that with the other 100 things that I'm doing.
Oh, they're just so much fun. They're just so much.
Oh, I know. I have to get in the right mindset.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, how many signed, sealed, delivered fan fiction stories do you think there are on fanfiction.net?
Oh gosh.
Do you know?
I was just there.
You were just there.
It's trivia, Jess. Come on.
500.
Like 400?
There are actually 255, which
Oh.
is still a lot of fan fiction that you can get lost in. So I highly recommend that if you're a reader or if you just love Signed, Sealed, Delivered, check it out. There are a lot of wonderful writers on there, and I just wanted to put a plug in. Fan fiction certainly serves its purpose in filling in the gap between movies, and Postables are yearning for more of our favorite characters, so they keep reading. My simply captivating story has gotten more than 10,000 views rather quickly over the last couple of months, and I started out with about 250 dedicated readers, and that number has increased to 360 with the most recent chapters. And to me, this proves that Signed, Sealed, Delivered has been greatly missed over the last 2+ years that we've not had a new premiere. I'm just hoping that we get more films, more installments, because people are really wanting more.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, get reading, guys.
Lots to delve into.
Yes. All right. So we're going to segue over to a couple of our SSD questions because this is about Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and just to get to know you guys in that realm, since we are running a little short on time here for this section of the podcast. But
this section.
Yes, this section before trivia.
So Danielle, you told us how you discovered Signed, Sealed, Delivered, but Natalie, how did you discover it?
I watched Hallmark on a regular basis, and so I saw the preview when it came out
Okay.
for the very first movie.
Oh my
And I was
god.
like, I've got to watch this. And so I did. I saw it, and I was like, I loved it. Of course, at the end, I was like, that just feels so incomplete, though. I mean, it just doesn't, it's not wrapped up, like most Hallmark movies kind of are, So I said, I don't know. That's it? Okay. And then fast forward to April and the series comes out and I was like, oh, wow, yay. And so then I watched it and got to the end, the last episode, and I was like, no. What?
Standing and leaving.
So I went through all of that. I've been there since the beginning.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
You are an OG postable, as the kids say these days. Yeah.
Okay, Danielle, I'm going to start with you for this one. What's
Okay.
your favorite movie and what's your favorite episode?
All right. So
I know I'm asking you to pick a favorite child, but
that's funny. My 13-year-old asks me that all the time. She does. My favorite movie, I would say, would be probably For Christmas, because it was the first movie that I saw, and I think I've watched that movie. I don't even know. I can't even count the times I've seen that movie, but I remember for a while too. It was one of the only ones on YouTube, and I would just watch it over and over and over again. And my favorite episode would be Dark of Night.
Uh-huh.
It again, another one that makes me cry every time I watch it. And I just feel like it was very different than the other episodes.
Very.
And obviously the topic was a lot darker than the other episodes, but it had such a good message, and it's how they started.
Absolutely. All right, Natalie, you're up.
I love a lot of episodes. My favorite one out of the series is Treasure Box.
Uh-huh.
I would have to say Truth Be Told. I mean,
Okay.
Higher Ground is almost up there, but there's something about Truth Be Told. I don't know. The whole storyline. Actually, I do think I know why I love Truth Be Told so much, and it has to do with that element of surprise. I just love a good twist in any story, whether I'm reading or watching a movie or whatever. I love a good twist, something that I don't see coming. And if you were like most viewers when you were watching, I think that you probably thought, like I did, that Joe O'Toole had passed away. And we find out later that that was not the case, that it was actually Oliver's biological father. And it really took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. And I will admit that in the back of my mind, I was thinking, why bring the amazing Gregory Harrison on and just have him for a few minutes? So that kind of, I did have that kind of mindset too, but thank goodness it all worked out, and he stayed, because the show is just so much better. I mean, it was wonderful to begin with, but now we've got Gregory Harrison there. And so I just think that element of surprise is what really, really gets me when I watch Truth Be Told. And of course, I know the story now, but every time I watch it, I just think it's so beautifully done. And the whole reunion of a father and son, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful story. I just love it. It's my go-to. So,
Okay.
What character do you guys most identify with?
I think for me, I feel a bit more, I don't know, like Shane. I mean, there's a little mix in there of multiple characters, but I do feel like I can relate to her a lot more. She doesn't just accept things for as they are, and she wants to know the why and how. And, as I mentioned earlier, I'm an investigator, so to me, I love to know the mechanics of how things work and the whys. And I don't know, I just always I've identified her from the very first movie.
Mm-hmm. Same with me.
I would say the same thing for me, Shane. I love to analyze things, even when I shouldn't and don't, want to. I do it anyway. But yes, I'm an analyzer, and I'm not as techie. I mean, I know a good bit about technical stuff, but I don't know. Not like Shane. But that curiosity and that tenacity.
Yeah.
I've got that. Yes. So.
Yeah. And I'm just going to throw a loop here, because I don't know that we've ever really talked about it ourselves, as a
who we most identify with?
I mean, I think I've talked about it a little bit with Jess offline, but Kami, who do you most identify with?
Ooh, that's kind of
a mix.
Yeah, I would say that I'm a mix, and it's not just because they're the two female characters either. I would say I'm definitely a mix of Shane and Rita, because I'm not, I would like to think at least, I'm not as quirky as Rita, so I'm a bit more on the normal side, I would hope, like Shane, and but I have a very outgoing personality, but when it comes to the way things run and the way people are, I'm a bit more naive, I would think, and so I'm a lot like Rita, and when I get my feelings hurt, I take it very personally, so I'm a little, I get very sad like Rita does, and I have all of these ideas of what I would say to them, and it just doesn't happen. So but whenever I'm around my mother, I feel a lot like Shane, because I feel very tech savvy when I'm around my mom.
What about you, Jess?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Just I was gonna end up saying I'm a mix of the two. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say the exact opposite. I'm the mix of the guys.
I would agree with that.
I'm like Oliver. I really love words and books, and definitely because I'm a former chemist. I love science and investigating things. So, and I'm a little quirky like women too. So.
She also doesn't show emotion. Like I'm the big time emotional one, and then Kaycee is right behind me, and we call ourselves the Puddles, and Jess is our mop. So Kaycee and I are over here just in tears and in romantic fits, and Jess goes, "Okay, guys, I'm mopping you up now." So that's another way that she's like the guys, and I'm more like the girls.
Yeah. I think I would definitely say Shane for me. Yeah. I definitely identify with Shane. Like, my husband walked in on me watching Signed Sealed, and he was like, "You are just like that blonde lady. You're so like on your computer."
You didn't tell me that. That's hysterical.
Yep. He watched a few segments and was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, funny. You're very similar to Oliver, Mr. Old Fashioned. So there you go. Works for us. But anyways, that was fun. I didn't know that about, y'all. So, well, we're going to segue into trivia, but first we just have a couple of quick questions. So you guys run the daily trivia game. So how did that get started? Because that's kind of different from like writing fan fiction. Was it just something fun or random?
Yeah. Well, that was Natalie's idea to start the trivia, because we wanted to kind of, again, we were waiting at the time to hear whether SSD was going to be renewed, and Postables needed a pick-me-up. And of course, we wanted something to kind of give to them while we were writing, because, before we started putting chapters out, we really had a lot of time, or we needed a lot of time to brainstorm. So we really wanted to build us up as a writing team first. And so we started to put the trivia out. It hadn't initially, the goal wasn't really to do a daily. It was just putting the trivia out there, and then it kind of transitioned into a daily as time went on, and we just maintained that.
Yeah.
I will say it was my idea, but Danielle has totally taken it up and she's run with it. And she's our trivia master and handles it and does a great job with it. I throw a few questions at her from time to time, but she mainly handles that and does such a great job of having one out there every day for everybody. So
you two are so sweet, the way you just totally give the credit to each other, and you so sweet to listen to the two of you talk to each other, and love it.
How do you guys come up with your questions?
Lots of ways. I look on, I'll watch the episodes, obviously. I will look on IMDb, Google. I go to, there's a really good transcript site that Natalie sent to me when we first started doing the trivia, and it doesn't have all of them on there, but it is very helpful. Just try to kind of switch it up. And then initially, as it was posting the trivia, it would be just, I'd go in that morning, get my trivia question ready to go, and then, post it later on. And I've since kind of changed my methods. I usually like Friday or I create the questions for the week, and I email it to myself, and I do it in chronological order. That's not how it started, but again, it's just easier to keep track of, because I found myself, it's like, wow, I have a lot of To Be Alter. I have a lot of Impossible Dream, and It was just easier for me to keep track of. It's like, okay, well, I'm on for Christmas today, and then I'm going to do From Paris with Love, and it just makes it easier.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of questions and a lot of work. So thank you. I mean, it is a lot of fun, like going
Keeps
on.
our brain sharp.
I know. Trying to pick the right one, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what tower they had tea in. The north one, sure.
That was Natalie's question. I know which question.
Yeah. It's too funny.
Yes. And I find myself, sometimes I'll go through, like I said, I get the questions ready a week in advance, and I'm like, what was the right answer? I got to go back. I stump myself all the time.
That's awesome. All right. So speaking of trivia, we are going to start our trivia game. All right, we are back with some Postables Jeopardy, and we're not going to have the music because we don't have the rights to that, so you can play it in your head. But we're going to play Jeopardy just as you would normally. Again, these are some random questions. We have a few categories for you people who are on audio. We have Color Me Perfect, so the answer is a color. Trust the timing. So this is, it could be any duration of time. It could be a date. It could be a year. It just has to do with timing. Who dat is a person. Food, self-explanatory. Finish the statement. And miscellaneous. So miscellaneous is your everything button. I mean, it's like grab one out of the hat, and it could be something completely random or completely like normal. So, we will start with our guests, since you are, that's the polite thing to do down here in the South. So what would you ladies like to pick?
We're known for our Southern hospitality.
I'll pick food for 300.
Okay. Food for 300. Sunny tells Ramon to add these items to the Area 51 drink. And anybody can answer. So. Okay, we ran out of time. We did have a time limit, 30 seconds. Okay. But, okay, so for no points, anybody want to take a stab at it?
Wasn't one of them goat milk?
Yes.
But I only had the one, so I couldn't do all of them. So,
Natalie and Danielle, do you all have guesses?
That's the only one that I could think of.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
whey and cactus root. The whey sounds familiar, but not the cactus root. I never would have gotten that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Goat's milk, whey, and cactus root. No points. Or no fake money. All right. Hosts. Pick a category.
We will finish the statement for 200, Alex.
All right. I want you on my what?
Oh, raft.
Yes.
Yes. Good job, me. What is a raft?
We do not need to answer in a form of.
Oh, phew, good.
Y'all are the watermelons.
Yes, we're the watermelons.
Yay, raft. Yay. All right.
It's our turn again.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Finish the statement for 100.
Imagine blank blank.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody can.
World peas?
That's correct.
Oh,
yay!
That's a 100? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even I knew that one.
Oh.
I know.
What? Oh, what? Well, oh, okay. Yeah. What movie is that from? I'm drawing a blank.
It's Home Again.
Again.
Yeah,
What?
it's on the shirt. It's on Rhea's dad's shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
All righty. Natalie and Danielle, back to you.
Okay, let's go for trust the timing for 200.
All right. The day the Postables fly to DC in the Impossible Dream.
Oh! Thursday.
Yes. That is correct. All right. Go ahead, Kami and Jess.
Finish the statement for 300.
so that I can come back to this blank, blank, blank.
Oh, I know.
Natalie.
Crazy, stupid place.
That's right. All right. Crazy,
Higher
stupid
ground.
place. Higher ground. Go ahead, y'all.
Let's do miscellaneous for 300.
All right. Miscellaneous for 300. Oliver's first job at the post office.
Oh, zip code shelver.
Yes. That is correct. Zip code shelver. I never noticed that the first 700 times of me watching that movie.
It took this time through. I wrote it. I even wrote it down. I was like, "Ooh, that's a good one." You know?
Yeah. He says it really fast too.
He does. He does.
And this is in From the Heart. He's talking to Shane about the incident in which he took a little coffee break on the clock while waiting for Burnett. So, anyways, all right. Host.
Miscellaneous for 100. Is that okay, Jess?
That's okay.
Okay.
This person is making Rita and Norman's cake.
No,
Natalie.
I think. Is it Vernon?
I think so. Yes.
I can't remember. Yeah.
It is Vernon.
I
No,
was
his cousin
definitely
Vernon.
Norman's cousin.
Oh, I didn't say that, but I thought it.
It's okay. Vernon is what we're looking for.
Okay.
Which cousin?
All right. Natalie and Danielle.
Okay. Color me perfect for 300.
All right. 300, you say?
Yes.
Oliver is wearing this color pocket square the day Holly appears in the DLO in From Paris with Love. Kami?
Plaid.
Wrong. Oliver's wearing this color pocket square the day Holly appears in the DLO From Paris with Love. Natalie and Danielle, you can guess for points, and if you guess it wrong, you don't get it off. So
Blue.
blue is not the right answer. Jess, did you
Throw it out there.
did you say red?
Yeah.
Yes, red is
that's
actually the correct
right.
answer.
That's right.
Red.
All righty. Who? That was Natalie and Danielle.
It's
right?
their turn.
Yep.
Natalie, are you okay with who dat for 300?
Yes.
All right. Who dat for 300? The names of the cows in Home Again. There's 3.
All of them.
Oh.
I know one of them, but
I did too. I know one.
I don't know all of them. Oh, come on, Natalie. They're right behind you. Just go ask them.
I know the 3 girls.
Danielle, did you have a guess, or did you just say? I think you're.
Oh no, I don't want my points to go away.
All righty, time is up. Anyways, do you guys want to take a random stab at it? No points.
Suki. I know.
Polly. Was there a Polly?
Polly was yes.
And wasn't there a Suki?
There was a, I believe yes, there was a Suki
Yeah.
and Suki, Arabelle, and Polly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I only knew one out of the 3.
Natalie and Danielle, go ahead, pick again.
Let's see.
Y'all are scared of the
How
500s.
How about food for 200? Will that work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Norman orders this drink for Rita in The Impossible Dream. Go ahead.
I have it. Arnold Palmer.
Not in The Impossible Dream.
Dark of Night, I think.
Yes, Dark at Night. All right.
He orders it for himself,
That's what it
But-
was.
but I don't think he orders it for Rita.
Because
Because I was about to say the exact same thing, but I was like, no, don't say it.
Do you have a guess for no points? Nope.
No.
Skinny caramel steamer.
Oh, my goodness.
Back to Natalie and Danielle.
I don't remember who went last. Danielle, do you want to do Color Me Perfect for 200?
Sure, that works.
Okay.
The color of Oliver's folder in The Impossible Dream. Jess.
Blue.
That is correct. Yay!
Hey, I got the colors. Really.
I'm so proud of you. All right, Jess, go ahead.
Let's stick with colors for 100.
Safe choice. Rita's cardigan on the day one of the RV trip. Jess, did you say purple?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my girl.
Lavender purple.
Oh, I did not know. I did not know. I love you.
I remember it from a GIF.
Oh.
All righty.
It's our turn again. What do you want to do?
Keep going with colors. 400.
Okay.
Shane's dress in the higher ground date. It's 2 colors, if that helps.
Isn't one of them black, Jess?
That's what I'm thinking.
I thought so too, but I don't know the other one.
I mean, I guess conversing out loud is allowed.
We're on a team, so
In the virtual space. All right.
I was thinking, I don't know if I should try this though, because 400. Wow.
Time is up. So free
try.
Yes.
I would have said black and red.
Kami, Jess?
Gray.
Black and I don't know. I cannot remember. Oh, red and black. Should have gone with it, Natalie.
Be bold, huh?
Yeah. It's hard to see. Like, you have to pay attention to that date because she has that coat on most of it, and then she takes it off, but you're so invested in their conversation about jazz and blues. So
Who cares about the dress?
all right.
Okay.
Hosts.
Jess, you want to go for the 500 with colors?
Finish it out.
Okay.
All right. We're going to finish out Color Me Perfect for 500. The color of Hazel's socks in the scene where she runs down Shane's steps in Truth Be Told. And yes, somebody sent me this question.
Oh, it's crazy because I can see them, but I can't see the color.
No points for anybody here. Any free guesses?
Red. The red knee-high socks.
I was thinking red.
You were. If they are, I'm gonna be mad.
Postables Unscripted. Any guesses?
I kind of agree with that. I think red.
They were navy with white polka dots. All righty. We have half the board left. Lots of 100s, lots of 4 and 500s.
Is finish the statement okay, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish the statement 400.
With this owl ring, if it helps, Norman says it.
I know that.
Danielle, did you say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Engage you.
I'm going to give it to y'all. Yep.
I think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Engage you. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I was stuck. I was stuck between the engagement and the wedding. Yeah. It was.
All right. Postables Unscripted.
Let's go ahead and go for finish the statement 500.
Okay. When we began together as colleagues charged with delivering so many lawsuits, I believe that to everything there is a season and
time and purpose under heaven.
That's not correct.
No.
I love us is somewhere in there.
Not in this statement.
Okay, it's not in that statement. Shoot.
No takers. Nobody wants to try.
Nope.
No. All right, we're going to skip and see the answer. To every lost letter, there is a divine purpose.
I'm sorry, Jess.
It's okay.
Wow.
It's okay. We have plenty of questions to go around. It is not halftime yet. So.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Danielle. I'll let you.
Let's just do miscellaneous for 200.
Miscellaneous for 200. The items in the open container to the right of Phoebe while she's reading Renita Hayweather. If it helps, it's something you consume as a food item.
Items in the open container.
Somebody else sent this. Thank you, Postable fan, that I can't remember right now.
Phoebe, while she's reading Renita.
It would be a guess on my part.
Yeah, they really wanted to stump us.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Any guesses? No points lost or added.
Mints? I don't know.
The candy?
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes. Oh, wow.
Nope, would not have gotten that.
Nope. All right. Postables Unscripted.
Okay. Trust the timing for 100.
Shane has been gone out of the country for this amount of time.
Oh,
Who?
3 months.
Yes.
Danielle.
I was gonna say.
Ding, ding, ding. Postables Unscripted, back to you.
You pick.
Who dat for 100?
Hazel's last name.
Opachina.
Yes. All right. Next question.
Who dat for 200?
Jason's last name.
Stone.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, that is correct. All right. Next question.
Food for 100?
All right. Joe orders this sandwich in 1 in a million.
Ham on rye.
Yes.
You're right.
All right. Hard questions left unless you want to go with a maybe easy one. Not sure. Don't remember. Just the timing.
300. Press the timing.
All right. And O'Toole has been delivering mail since this year.
1787. Yes. In truth be told, it is 1787. And in the other one, it says 1786, but they are 2 different years.
Actually, in truth, no. Hold on. Lost Without You, he says 1789.
Yep, but in truth be told, it is right here, 1787.
Well, I have 1789, and that is Judge's answer. So I will not I will not take points away. But it's 1789. That's the answer I got. So that's what we need. That's why we need continuity here, y'all. Next question.
Oh, Jess, you pick.
Who dat 400?
All right, Danny's stuffed dinosaur.
But I don't.
Postables Unscripted. I'm gonna have to send you these, and then you guys can make
I tell you
trivia
what,
questions.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I can hear him say, "You found."
Yes.
2 seconds.
I can.
1 second.
Oh my goodness.
I can see him having a conversation with his mom.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, "You found Birdie."
Birdie. Oh.
Alrighty. Next question.
Who dat 500?
Who dat? The name of the man who recites Holly's original poem on YouTube in From Paris with Love.
That is hard.
That's why it's the 500. If you are listening or if you are watching this and you know the answer, I mean, that's impressive because I've never seen that.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Henri Louis Caillebotte.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my.
Caillebotte.
All right.
Apparently some French guy with the last name Caillebotte was also a famous painter. So, fun fact. That has nothing to do with SSD.
All right.
Alrighty. Jess?
Food 400.
Food for 400. The name of the mole sauce that causes Norman to run out screaming in Lost Without You.
Tarantula torpedo.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Tarantula torpedo mole. All right. Choose wisely. And there is no double or whatever they call it on Jeopardy.
Double Jeopardy?
No double Jeopardy. I don't have the paid account, so there you go.
Finish out the food.
Finish out the food for 500. Curly orders this for lunch in 1 in a Million. The entire thing, not just the sandwich.
Corned beef and chicken salad on white with mayo and coleslaw on the side.
Bam.
Corned beef and chicken salad on white with mayo and coleslaw on the side.
Drop the mic.
All right, it's close. There are $1,800, fake money, of course, to be split. And we have score update: 1,200 for Postables Unscripted and 1,400 for the Deliver Me a Podcast hosts. So we are neck and neck, people.
Trust the timing for 400.
Norman's grandmother spent this amount of time on a small island south of New Guinea during sacramental sowing season. It's this amount of time. She goes every year. She's talking to Bilbo. She's saying, "Oh, I'm a weaver too. I go to this island so many times each year," or not so many times, this amount of time each year.
Nope.
No clue.
None.
Alrighty. No free guesses? Nope. 3 months of every year.
Okay. Trust timing 500, Jess? Okay.
Mrs. Ginzinger's friend Betty Jensen keeled over when...
Oh! Thanksgiving!
Yes. I never would have gotten that one. I had to listen really carefully, so... All right. Thanksgiving. All righty. 2 more questions.
Miscellaneous for 400.
The lost mail bag of Harry Snap contains mail to this zip code.
Nope, I didn't get that far.
All right, we have 2 questions. If you get it, you'll get points. If you get it wrong, I won't deduct if that helps anybody.
Nope.
All right. 82474. Anybody know the year he went missing or the mail went missing?
1999?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh,
But it doesn't count. I mean, you know. Alrighty, miscellaneous for 500 is the last question. The location of the jazz club, E flat. Oliver picks up Shane. He's on the porch. He's saying all these things. I thought we could go to the jazz club on
No.
blank street. No guesses?
None.
You want to throw something out there? For no points taken, of course.
Alameda.
Nope.
Downing.
Nope. It is Pearl Street.
Never would have got that.
Yeah. And the winner is, yay, the watermelons, aka the hosts. Yay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was really
Hard?
hard.
Tough.
I like multiple choice.
Oh yeah. That's what I was hoping for.
I thought that's what we were getting too. But yeah, I've been watching for the past 4 days.
It paid off, Kami.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Well, if you watch our episodes or if you listen to our episodes, you know that Jess and I really struggle with trivia, honestly, on a weekly basis. So
stuff you just rewatched.
I know. Yes. So
It's
that was-
really fun when I'm the host and I get to ask the trivia questions.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you should send them a few of your random questions because they get really like
Okay, yeah, I will.
really deep. Anyways, that was a ton of fun, just chatting and having kind of a girls' night and learning more about Natalie and Danielle and your writing process and like, you know, the ever blossoming friendships among the Postables. It's been such a blast, and thank you all so much for coming on here. You know,
Thank
guys, yeah, and you guys can come on anytime you want.
Anytime.
We love it.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
We have
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. I know I have.
Yeah.
I have too.
All right. And so do you guys have social medias that you want to shout out? I mean, you don't have to, but if you would like to, feel free. Twitter,
Well, we
Instagram.
are on Twitter as @Posta Unscripted. And then we have our website is POstablesUnscripted.wordpress.com. That has all of our stories and the whole wedding thing that we did together, all the pictures and the music and everything to go along with it. So,
And all of the trivia and stories that, you know, both of us have written, separate and together. And then we have a Facebook page also and a group, just Postables Unscripted.
All right. Awesome. So if you are a Postable and you are anxiously awaiting the next Sign Still Delivered, make sure you follow Natalie and Danielle on Postables Unscripted all over social media. Be sure to read their stories, comment, like, you know, what we do as a group. We're really good at supporting each other. So go out there and support these ladies on their next adventure as we wait for SSD 11. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you all
Thank
later.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Deliver Me a Podcast. To stay up to date on all our episodes, be sure to follow us on Twitter @DeliverMeAPod and on Instagram @DeliverMeAPodcast. We also have a merch store where you can buy tons of postable things for you and your friends. We'll see you next week.